unfortunately for them, they brought the Capital, which is clearly more effective when attacking the basement site. So we'll see if that kind of hurts Armada's chances at all. And like you said, Pulse is kind of the primary defensive Oregon band. He's very, very effective. So is Vigil. The roaming is kind of limited, based on what you said, which is absolutely true, how linear it is. There's not as many escape routes, and those are some of the better roamers and information gathering if you're going to play Pulse that way as well. So here they go, a flurry of players going upstairs into Meeting Hall, nothing out of the ordinary for what we typically see here on Oregon.
Yeah, I'm looking at those 6 picks as well. I believe it was Armada that actually 6-picked a Castle. And Castle can be used on both sites, fairly well, but it's much more common on the basement site. So I don't know why you would start with the Castle and then switch off of it, because that's just telling them basically what site you're at. Now, it didn't really bait Powerhaus into going for a sledge pick, but I don't know. I just don't agree with that sort of 6-pick. I would have rather have seen him, go something, crazy, or 6-pick the Valkyrie, because now obviously you've kind of shown your hand that you have a Valkyrie. So that 6-pick probably could have been used a little bit better in my opinion. But also looking at this lineup for Powerhaus, it's probably going to be a west side take into a smoke blast point up in the front stairs.
Yeah, a lot of bodies out west on both sides of the building. Still some warm bodies on the defense upstairs in Meeting Hall. I'm not quite sure if they reinforced the back stage of Meeting Hall, but I'm curious if the attackers will drone out, pick up on that, and try to attack from a different angle. We've also seen plenty of times the attacking squad ignore completely any resistance coming from the Meeting Hall and instead opting to just watch it and make sure nobody rotates out on them. A little bit of map control now taken from the west side as more information gathering is going out. Glaz will be popping some holes down through the staircase just to make sure nobody flanks up on his teammates as they begin to take the main lobby area.
Yeah, honestly, not too surprising what we've got set up. I did look at their mirror setup, and that is one mirror facing towards pantry. Nothing too crazy. That's pretty common. However, with that Twitch drone, it should be easily thwarted. So I'm not sure. I would much rather see them just run a double reinforcement on pantry, because again, you don't have that thermite, and when you don't have that thermite, guess what? Just reinforce everything. They obviously they'll be able to open it up, but they're not going to be able to open it up all the way to be able to really watch that cross. Those Habanas need to be on the other side. If there's someone inside a laundry, they could easily punish that. I'm not sure if they'll be able to realize that or not, but this is kind of interesting sort of take so far from Powerhaus. I mean, they've got good position. They've got good timing so far. I mean, they need to start going right now. Yeah, see, that mirror is already open, or else they're going to be screwed by time.
So not only an interesting attack, but an interesting defense. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, every defender is now dropped out of the Meeting Hall. So even though the attackers didn't put any resistance onto it, I believe, yeah, all 5 are now turtling on site. So there was no gunfights, no resistance in Meeting Hall whatsoever. I'm not sure if the defenders thought that the strategy of the attackers was maybe coming in a different area, or if they just decided to drop down. I'm not sure what the relevancy or the benefit that gives them, all dropping down into such a small, confined area. Some C4s, some toxic smoke, some regular smoke will all go out. A lot of looking, but no action, as 10 people are left. Only 30 seconds left on the clock. No engaging. The attackers are going to have to make a move. They are doing a good job of baiting out the smokes. I think that I just heard the second toxic bait, and there it goes. The diffuser actually goes down. Detox will play kill number 1 and kill number 2. Jay will get into a fight. Flynn will take down 1. A little bit of a knife fight happens on main stairs. Detox will get the better of that. Snappy trades going back and forth. Snappy with a double kill of his own. Jay will get one. Snappy with a triple kill. It's a 1v1 now. Snappy doing work upstairs with the 1-speed Mira. But now half of the time of the diffuser is gone. Can he find the 4th and clutch it out for the defense? He's only got about 20 health. No, he's got full health. Only Habana has 20 health. Habana trying to defend the diffuser as best she can. Mira going to have to make a move. The time is running out. He will claim that 4th, but not have enough time to defuse it. Jay, a valiant effort. But the attackers, off the back of that triple kill, will claim round number 1 for Powerhaus.
Very interesting there. Honestly, I want to say Armada is actually playing a little scared there. We noticed about halfway through the round, all the defenders were sitting on site. They were turtling, and that's just, with that lineup, you can't do that. I mean, they had, I want to say, they had two C4s, and then they had the smoke gases. But really, the utility usage there was pretty poor. I'm gonna admit there. That smoke, A, is not really. So he popped one really early, and he put it on the mirror. I'm not sure if that was just a misthrow or what. But if you're going to turtle all 5 on site, you need to one have more than just two C4s, because those C4s don't reach all the way back. So you're relying on your smoke to be able to deny those plant at the bottom of the stairs. So the fact that he is for some reason popping them early, that's kind of like the number one mistake there. And then of course those C4s just nowhere in position to really kind of stop that plant. And then of course, like you said, obviously we saw them turtling, but that's just not the right play when you have both a Jaeger and a Legion. The Legion, especially bringing the impacts, allowing yourself to rotate around the map, as well as the Jaeger. What is the Jaeger going to do for a Planta now? Obviously, he was super scared about him, dropping into the hatch. But if you actually continue to play meeting, I don't think Powerhaus had really any intention of actually going into meeting and really trying to take it all that hard. I think they were more or less just going to open up that mirror and watch the rotate from inside of pantry or from kitchen. So a little bit disappointed there how Armada played that, considering the lineup that they had.
Yeah, I agree with you. And one thing that I had noticed was there was two people in meeting hall from the get-go. The Valk was kind of playing on the mirror when facing kitchen, and she dropped down very, very early. I'm not sure how long before the other of her teammates dropped down as well, but there was no resistance. There was no and it looks like a 5-man rush from the back, already engaging a complete polar opposite of what we saw last round. So bullet will fly through the soft wall. Detox will take out Coda. That is one of Powerhaus gone. And now it looks like they're backing off. Nope, a couple more people heading into that blue, but they will decide to rotate up and regroup a little bit, opening up into garage.
That's interesting. And I'm not really sure what told them that they should be rushing. I mean, obviously it was a call, but what exactly did they see? Maybe the round previous. Obviously they saw that dirt is soft, but just because dirt is soft does not mean that they're playing that. Maybe they thought that, hey, maybe they're all going to start up super high. Flock's going to start things off for his team, or continuing off, actually, as Flynn goes down. Powerhouse, like I said, I'm not sure what kind of told them that they should be doing that sort of rush. I mean, if you're playing a team that plays like 4-man up and only 1-man site, that might be possible. But Armada was playing super scared, so they're playing really tight, towards the site there. So definitely not really the call that I would make.
Yeah, and they stopped one, and when they stopped one person, the Ella went down. They completely regrouped. The problem is when they regrouped with 4 members left, they didn't have a solid plan. They just wanted to push what was close by. They pushed that rear stage. Flock with that beautiful and aggressive peek out paid off and took them out. So now they're at a 2-man disadvantage. Although he is very weak, him being the Jaeger, there's still 2 people up. I'll take that trade anytime, even if I only have a 1 health left. So now 1 minute and 10, still plenty of time, a lot of action going on, but I think a little bit of uncertainty coming out from the attackers. Valkyrie will peek out, he'll get some bullets down twice onto that Jackal, will not finish the job. We'll see one in garage as well. He'll just sit there, poke and annoy the attackers, as now they have kind of committed with 1 minute left to try to attack that main lobby hatch.
This is exactly what I was wanting to see the very first round. It's like, don't get scared, really kind of put yourself out there. I mean, obviously it's a much different situation because you have a 2-man advantage. So Detox really is not afraid to just kind of put himself out there to just, just run around, do what he needs to do.
Oh my! Detox with a triple kill to finish the round out, whips the Deagle out, says, you know what, I don't even need the machine gun. And absolutely annihilates the last member of Powerhaus. That is what Armada needed to do to start coming back.
And yeah, it's like when you have that 2-man advantage, you can run around pretty much as much as you want. They pretty much probably just told Detox, hey, just do whatever you want. But that's the exact sort of stuff that they needed to be doing that first round. And it shows, like, there's a massive difference. Obviously, Powerhaus, not sure what the call or what the plan was there, especially after they won the first round. I mean, I guess it's one thing if you're losing a bunch and you're down a couple rounds and to rush into blue trying to make something happen. But it's another to win your attack and then just immediately go for a blue rush. Just why not? And honestly, It was really, they didn't even commit to it. Like, it was really half-assed. I gotta say, like, they should have brought, if they really wanted to do it, bring a Monty, bring a Lion, or bring a Blitz, bring a Lion, Bray Finka, now that she has nades, like why not, right? And
Yeah.
then just actually get in there and put yourself in a situation to make something happen, not just hey, let's run in. Oh, or Zofia died. Oh, let's just get scared and run away, right? Like that's not gonna work.
Yeah, it was an interesting strategy, and not to dog on Powerhaus too much, but it seemed that after the Zofia died, it was just a little bit of uncertainty. And like I mentioned, during the round, is it seemed like instead of like regrouping, they kind of went for a rear stage push, met with the resistance block, popping out, killing Flynn on that very aggressive pop out, barely escaping with his life. And afterwards, they decided, let's just go around the garage. So it was like attack here, lose a guy, everybody pull off. Attack here, lose a guy, everybody pull off. And they just seemed to keep doing that over and over until finally there wasn't enough time left to find another spot to enter. And, the Valk just ate their lunch because of it. So here we go.
It might have worked. It might have worked if they hadn't have opened blue. If they had gone all the way in and stayed a little bit more sneaky, I think it could have worked. But they opened up that hole and then decided to rush. So it's like hey, we're coming here. Come get us, right? Yikes.
Yes, indeed. So here will be the first attempt to defend and attack the upstairs here in map number 1 of this best of 3. Sophia already full control of the armory. Will take a quick little peek down the hallway and report back to her team her findings. Not much utility seemingly deployed in the hallway, nor has anybody tried to fiddle around with the attic or the master bedroom, leaving her teammates to take the master bedroom balcony. They will spot one down in kitchen and attempt or decide to what their next move should be attacking this upstairs, as a lot of information gathering is still taking place.
I think they'll be fine here. Powerhaus, they still have 4 smokes to work with, which is more than a lot of teams can say on a lot of lineups. I'm a little worried here, however, because they are taking very minimal control. I mean, obviously they have got one on runway, but Detox on that Valk, he should have a Valkyrie cam watching this. And if he does, then they're in a really, really solid spot. Obviously, there's a mirror, a reinforced mirror. Oh, yeah, see, perfect. That's exactly what I thought. The second he kind of gives away his position, you're going to have a roamer going to come up and fight behind you. Flock finds 2. That's going to be the round for Armada. There's really absolutely no reason that they lose this. They lost both the Zofia and the Capital here. And the Capital was the person at runway window. That's kind of spooky if you're Powerhaus. You're really trying to look for picks here, and all Armada has to do is just sit there and do nothing. Yeah, sure, there's going to be 2 smokes here coming out from aim, but what are you going to do? Like, you're planting both on holes, and it's a really, really obvious spot. They need to get a C4 or something there. There's some smokes come out, but I believe the plant will actually go off. Yeah, it will, and they're actually not going to kill the planter. This actually could go very well.
Well, the plant is down. That is 2/3 of the battle. If you're on attack, you're very heavily outmanned, and one will get down from a C4. I'm not sure where it came from. Flock will come out, get his 3rd of the round. Snappy will finally shut him down. No, he won't. Flock will get a 4K. Snappy taking down Jay, and Flock single-handedly dismantling Powerhaus, even though they managed to get the diffuser down to bring Armada up 2 straight, 2-1.
And there you go. That is the exact reason why I don't like that reinforced mirror, or at least a head height reinforced mirror. You get a free plant off because they're giving you a nice little wall, nice cozy little wall to plant behind, right? If you're going to play that mirror, put it low. You absolutely have to put it low, because when they start planting, unless you have a huge min advantage, which they did, by the way, but they still couldn't stop the plant for some reason. Unless you have like a massive man advantage, you really have no way to stop that. I have seen teams actually shoot holes underneath and then toss like smoke gas canisters under the floor and then go back up into the planter, but they didn't do any of that. I think they need to really kind of take a look at that and say, hey, I know that we still won the round, but how were they able to plant? Obviously that smoke called it out. There's no way he didn't. But did they not have a C4 nearby? Did they not have like the Jaeger in kitchen? Could he not shoot up at the guy? That's really worrying, because suddenly a 2-on-5 with a plant down can become a 2-on-0 really quickly.
Yeah, so Armada 1-1 downstairs will bring out the Maestro, deploy that evil eye onto the wall by the laundry baskets, and then of course, as usual, head upstairs with the majority of the rest of his team. Not sure what Flock's up to, just kind of hanging out. There he goes, starting to put down a little bit of utility. But 4 people upstairs, most likely deploying into meeting hall. yet again. You know, the first time when they kind of rotated back down to site quickly, I don't think they reinforced the stage walls. The last time, the time that they won, they did. Looks like there is somebody up on stage right now reinforcing those walls. So maybe this strategy is going to work a little bit better for them as it worked the second time around for Armada. Powerhaus 1-2, still not a runaway yet. Powerhaus is going to have to make something happen quick, or else they're going to have a lot of ground to cover here in the late game.
Yeah, exactly. And this is actually a much better lineup, in my opinion. I mean, it's really great to bring that Legion if you know the enemy team is going to be playing like heavy shield, heavy Monty. But in this case, Armada or its even Powerhaus really hasn't been favoring any of those shields. So a Legion's not going to do much. I mean, especially with the addition of that IQ, you're not going to be able to get too many goo mines off. And even the ones you are going to get off really shouldn't affect too much. I mean, a lot of teams love to bring that Thatcher as well. So even goo mines pre-placed in plant spots are going to get taken out just accidentally. Like they might not even find them, but an EMP just released out there is just going to find them anyway. So Legion's not great on this. I definitely like the some sort of plant denial, either Echo, Maestro, or something even more C4 is much better.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And not only was it a good tactical maneuver, but it was a good, you know, mental maneuver as well, because it was that Legion the previous round that had done all of that damage to Powerhaus single-handedly when they were trying to attack up top. So not only is it better utility to get rid of him in favor of Jaeger, but it is also, you know, kind of psyching the other team out, forcing them perhaps to even bring that IQ just to slow Legion down a little bit.
Interestingly enough, I just saw that the pantry walls were not reinforced, and that's probably why they were so scared. Armada's so scared of Powerhaus doing something up above them. That's probably why they dropped out. It's like as soon as Powerhaus starts pressuring above inside of attic, they're probably going to go and just get scared enough to drop, and then that pretty much gives Powerhaus free reign of all they want. We're seeing essentially the same exact strategy as we did last time. As this, we've got the Glass and the Capital now in position. Great job from Flock as he's going to start things off this round fairly late, right at the 1 minute mark. Detox is going to find a kill of his own. He's going to keep up the pressure as Flock's going to go all the way around. We still have plants now in the form of a C4 and gas.
What a pixel peek. Detox and Flock just absolutely annihilating the Powerhaus squad up top. Finally, Snappy will shut one down, but he'll be taken to about 7 health. Throw a flashbang just so he can retreat deeper in. And a pre-fire around the corner will take Detox out, so he will shut down the reign of terror that was Flock and Detox, but only him and 20 health versus 3 people, and only 22 seconds to make a move.
Yeah, too little too late there. And honestly, right now, if you're Powerhaus, there's really a big problem that you got to solve. You go, okay, listen, the first round, they got really scared. They dropped out. They didn't pressure us from meeting. They let us do what we wanted to do, and they won the round. Now, after 2 times attacking this basement, they got to realize, okay, they've got our number. They're starting to play more aggressive. You know, they're not playing so scared, and they're getting up in our face inside of meeting. Guess what? It's time to actually take control of meeting and kill them or push them away like you did the first round. You know, take control of attic, like I was saying. Open up that hatch. You know, open up that mirror again. Force them back all the way up into tower, and then just leave them there and have a single person sitting inside a kitchen watching the flank. Don't just let them sit up, you know, by split, because that sort of stuff will happen. You know, really will get punished.
Yeah, and looking at that kill line, Snappy doing all the work right now for Powerhaus. 3 donuts. We're 5 rounds deep right now, ladies and gentlemen. Flynn, somebody who's probably, I don't think is even a permanent fixture in this 5-man roster. The only other person on the team with a kill after that first round, it's been all downhill for poor Powerhaus. They are going to need to make something happen and they're going to have to, I say something, they're going to need to make a lot happen and quickly, because in this best of 6 map, there's not a lot of time to stabilize unless you can absolutely turn this whole thing on its head. You got to kind of get sneaky or do something a little bit unexpected to try and edge out around on Armada and swing some of that momentum in your favor.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be seeing the last defense of this half from Armada, and we're pretty much going to be seeing the exact same goal I don't think that they brought the Echo. So the Echo is a swap. They're bringing the Echo shotgun now instead of the smoke on top of White Stairs. That's probably just to help him, plant an eye inside of small dorms. Nothing too crazy. There is an IQ, but at this point, I'm kind of questioning, is that IQ really going to be effective in finding these yokai drones? And the reason why I say this is because last time we only saw, I believe it was a Jackal and the Habana up in Master, and then they had a Zofia go up into Army. The IQ was just nowhere nearby. She was over in La La Land, I gotta say. So honestly, unless she's right there with the take, they gotta have to be careful. And I do like that swap up. The question is, where do they put that mirror? Is it up or is it up or down? Because if it's in the same exact spot, then yeah, you better bet your butt that Powerhaus is gonna go and find that same exact spot. Yeah,
same exact spot. But here's the thing, right? Do I think that is not an ideal play? Absolutely I do. But the problem is Armada hasn't had any resistance. They haven't had any reason to care. They haven't had any reason to change anything just because their fraggers, their roamers have been doing so much work, absolutely dismantling, spreading out, and stopping Powerhouse's push that they haven't even realized quite yet what they're doing wrong.
And it's not even doing something wrong. It's literally just like a this could be better sort of situation. Because again, if you're against a better team, that sort of stuff will lose you the round. AIM is going to start things off with Flock. We were just talking about that roam game. There's another one to try and peek him as well. He still can't. Oh, finally hits it from the help in the big window. That's gonna be Jay. So that's actually a great example of what Armada has been doing. Their roam game has really been kind of carrying their defensive side here, and mainly coming from the fact that they're going to find one point that they can exploit, and this time it's going to be that Blackbeard on big window. He is going to pay the price there. No more at big window there, Mr. Echo. So he's gonna just be able to chill. Again, that's a big linchpin, however, off the board for Powerhaus.
Yeah, still pretty even. Legion and Blackbeard, two operators you do not want to lose early because of how much late game potential. Legion obviously getting the goo mines as the round goes on, and Blackbeard with those two shields holding those angles so important. So we're still kind of even here. 45 seconds left. We heard a yokai shot go off. A lot of crunching now beginning to happen on the side of Powerhaus. I do believe they had the closet wall open. Cannot quite see it. The yokai drone does get taken out. So 4v4, the time is ticking away. Powerhaus just kind of tippy-toeing around. He will see the second yokai drone under the bed, but not hit it due to that suitcase obstructing his view. Detox hanging out behind this. Here comes smoke number one. Snappy will creep in into the same corner. An asphyxiating bolt will cut off the rotation, but the yokai drone will stop the plant. Still 12 seconds left, and I believe 2 shots. The mirror will drop. The shots will go out. He will drop. 7 seconds now. A will get the kill. Flynn will reciprocate. Jay with one of his own, and it is a 3v2. Jay will get a double kill. Run through that asphyxiating bolt. Watch the diffuser. No time to pick it up. Armada, after losing the first round, will win 3 straight. Or 4 straight, excuse me.
And there you go. That's not much you can really do against that. They needed to take more map control, is really what it comes down to for Powerhaus. Get underneath, deny that Jaeger underneath from doing much, get that guy off of White Stairs. Honestly, a West clear would really be great against that sort of defense. You've got the mirror facing one way. All you got to do is clear out kitchen, clear out bathroom, and you're honestly set. Like, there's nothing more that you can do against that. So, little disappointed there. Seeing as Powerhaus, they did the exact same take. It worked a little bit better, but honestly, not much. And the only reason it worked a little bit better is because the defense was a little bit changed up in where they attacked, so they didn't get that double kill. But regardless, that's going to be Armada starting out 4-1. And I got to say, I pretty much expected this. Nothing really stands out so far for me for Powerhaus.
I didn't expect this at all. I thought Powerhaus would be putting up a lot more of a fight by now. And, it seems like the one round that they've managed to pull off was on the back of one player. Armada not letting that happen again after that. So we'll see if Powerhaus can make something happen here on defense, because they're going to have to. Otherwise, if Armada continues on the trend, two rounds, and it'll be over to Powerhouse's pick. Of course, the next map is Powerhouse's pick, but with the momentum Armada will be carrying, if that is the case, it's unlikely, I think, that Powerhaus will be able to recover. But it's not over yet, so we'll have to wait and see what Powerhaus or what the IGL of Powerhaus is telling his team to get the players' minds back in the game and try to recover the bleeding that is happening so far.
This is where I really wish I had team comms. You know, I could listen in to exactly what they're saying in a dire situation like this. And honestly, I'm not sure what, like, I'm with you. I'm not sure exactly what he would be saying at this point, other than, listen, it's a new half, and we just got to get in it and, you know, really start playing it. But looking at this lineup, this is pretty interesting. We got both the Monty and the Blackbeard. As long as it's a half-coordinated push, and as long as those Legion mines don't cause too much of a problem for Jay, I don't really see how Powerhaus wins this other than getting a cheeky flank off from Flynn. That's pretty much it. They do have a heavy downstairs presence for Powerhaus, so they could get a good C4 or two. I think would go a very, very long way.
Yeah, so Flynn dropped down. The Sledge opted not to engage him. Even though the drone saw him drop, he will climb the ladder back up. They know he's there now. But that would have been a great opportunity for Flynn to rotate. He will back up because of a grenade. You'll see the shield. After the shield backed off due to a goo mine block, will go ahead and decide to run over to the other side of the attic, see if he can put pressure on Flynn from there. He is the primary obstacle right now. Flynn will take a little bit of damage, taking him about 30 health down. Clock now in control of the attic, will not let him rotate back up.
Honestly, Flynn's been doing a really good job here. Why does I say that? Well, regardless, he got him in coordination with those goos, got the shield down to about half HP, and honestly, that's fairly decent. I mean, it could be a lot better. You know, obviously having a shield kill would be great at this point, but nothing more that you can really hope for right now other than just denying the plan. You know, the plan right now is for Jay to cover the spam.
Oh.
However, there comes AIM right from below. Great job having this extra control. There's two people down here. So even if AIM dies, they should be able to get the plant off, no problem. Coda's going to be able to help out as well. And then suddenly, I got to say, Powerhaus looks like they're actually in control now.
Yeah, they're in control. The diffuser is down, and about a third of the time is left off of it. They're going to have to figure out a way to take out these last two attackers and start getting on that diffuser. That is a very hefty opponent to deal with. Blackbeard being on that window. Ainsley will take one out from the, beautiful shot from the attic through the window. Muir will take the head off, but the time on the diffuser is running out. Ainsley will get another kill. Why are they going after him? Finally, they'll get him down. Somebody will start on that diffuser. Shazam will finish him off, and Powerhaus, a much needed victory after losing 4 straight, will pick up their first defensive hold upstairs.
Could be a good start to a defense. Maybe I just jinxed them. Only time will tell, though, as they will have to go downstairs. Maybe them just going upstairs was maybe a throw-off to Armada, so it could have been a fluke. Regardless, Armada was still able to get a plant off. You know, even though they didn't have much control downstairs, they still got the plant off. The C4 did come in a little bit late, but it still came in regardless. It was able to kill off that Monty. So it did the work that it had to, right? So regardless, they're going to be downstairs. They're going to be showing the castle. I don't agree with this. I think they need to be 6-picking it, if anything, or they're going to 6-pick off of it. 6-picking off of it would be the play. Jay actually 6-picks off the sledge, even though he sees a castle. He's lucky that castle's also going away.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting indeed.
Like, yeah, you don't show the Mira either, so it's like, like, guess what, guys? They don't have a Mira, but they have a castle. They're probably going to 6-pick the Mira, let's be honest here, boys. So, interesting decisions here for the 6-picks, I got to say. They could definitely be used better here on defense, I feel like. It's still getting the job done, don't get me wrong, but just a little nitpick here and there.
Yeah, you know, I want to point something out about Powerhouse's successful defense of the upstairs this last round, is that, I'd have to check the facts and figures. Everything happened so fast for me to retain it, just straight from memory. But it seemed like if 4 to possibly even all 5 of the members of Powerhaus each getting a kill that round, each contributing. So I think that the total team success, everybody engaging in gunfights, was winning their gunfights, had a lot to do with Powerhaus taking that round.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, it mainly came down to their map control. They actually, grew up here and they got in. and they went into the basement. You know, the aim decided to push through into classroom. The flank watch there from the last attack round here for Armada was kind of lackluster, allowing someone with C4 into classroom. That's pretty much a yikes, I gotta say. Cheeky goo mine there by Flynn has been found out. Unfortunate for him. Regardless, this is going to be the teller right now. Was it a fluke, or does Armada have a much better plan now that they know where the site is?
Yeah. So I believe we're seeing the Lion for the first time coming out here. We also have the IQ versus the Legion. So not a favorable matchup for the defense, as the IQ seems to be pushing down Goo Mine Row. So I believe 2 have been taken out so far. Not much of a hold this time in Meeting Hall. Not a lot of utility deployed, but there is still some resistance. That mirror being on the wall. I don't even think the rear stage has been reinforced, which for some reason, you know, during the drone phase, and I'm not sure where these these prep phase drones are going, but I think that's something that you kind of spot out and decide, hey, maybe we should switch our spawns, open up that wall, because once you open up that rear stage, it makes it very, very difficult for any resistance inside a Meeting Hall to kind of peek out and contend with you. Whereas if you're attacking literally where the defense has set up a mirror to deal with you, you're kind of playing into their hands, and you're making that one man in Meeting Hall more effective than just one man.
Exactly, and we are going to be seeing somewhat of a take starting as AIM is going to find another C4 kill. Flock just walks right in. There's absolutely no barbed wire right anywhere, no barricaded or anything to kind of warn them. Okay, so there is a goo mine on the right side. Mighty unfortunate. Flynn rushing up should be able to pick this off. Yes, he does, as Shazam finds a smoke kill of his own. But then once again, we are seeing a plant situation here. For Armada, they've proven fairly decent at actually getting this plant down. But with the Blackbeard and Halion going off now, this is going to be absolutely unlucky for them as they both get spotted out. So of course they're going to go for the res. That Detox finds one, but it gets traded off. The Blackbeard finds one and puts onto 1v1. He's going to finish it off though. Great job from the Blackbeard, able to clean it up. And that is going to be Armada actually pulling off an attack.
Oh, that pre-fire going up the stairs. Really great play. Really clutch play from the Blackbeard playing on those stairs. He was even shooting through the walls at the spotted players as the down player on the defense was getting picked up. Flynn was getting picked up, just missing the shots too. Really taking the end of that round into his hands and saving it for Armada, putting Armada on match point for map number 1. And I like that map. Of course, I like that round. Powerhaus, they lost the round, yes, but it was a much, much more competitive round. They just come off a win, and now they made that round a lot more competitive. This is the kind of energy, this is the type of play we need for Powerhaus. And if Powerhaus was able to find this earlier on, would they have had a flawless game? No, of course not. They just lost the last round, but it would have been more back and forth, in my opinion, instead of now they're stuck 2-5, even though the last 2 rounds went 1-1.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. You were talking also about the whole mirror thing. They had a Hibana. They could have opened up that southwest meeting wall, one of those the left side of the front meeting walls, and that basically denies the ability for them to use that mirror. So I don't know if they just decided not to, or if they just didn't want to create that angle, but they could have easily denied that mirror spot, just from the front lobby using a Hibana that they already had and never ended up using. So just those small things. However, I think that it can kind of come back to the fact that they don't really need to, adapt all that much, just because they've been basically brute forcing a whole lot of these rounds. So you don't need like very perfect strats coming out or perfect tactics or anything like that, when you can just brute force your way through a lot of these rounds. And a good example of that is the fact that they've gotten both plants down now on both attacks for Armada. They've gotten both plants. They weren't able to get the first one. They weren't able to close it out, but the second one they were able to, thanks in part to some really great Blackbeard play there. So even though they can, I'd like to see them just use this as a great learning opportunity to improve as a team.
Absolutely. So a little bit of a crawl hole getting opened up by Maestro here into the attic. A little bit of a wider roam game by Powerhaus. I think they're starting to become a little bit more confident, kind of going out on their own. Some early bullets will get exchanged, and that will be Coda getting kill number 1 on a Detox. That is a big kill. Detox doing a lot of work. Flock will trade him right back, though. Not a lot of health left on that poor Jaeger. very easy kill, but a little too late to save his teammate. It is now a 4v4. Getting that sledge off the board this early will remove both of those grenades. Meanwhile, Jaeger, having already deployed his utility, is going to put Powerhaus up a little bit in the exchange.
Interesting position as well for those Maestro cams. Is going to make him a little bit difficult for them to be able to Zofia off. Block's going to find another kill. Flynn, how did that happen? Did he get killed rushing out? Maybe he was trying to rush across or something like that, but he got caught off. Flock is just not scared of his mirror whatsoever. He's saying, come on at me, let me tell you.
Yeah, he's trying to draw him out. Snappy just kind of hanging out behind the sandbags, waiting to get pushed. Will drop if he needs to, but the defenders will back up. Shazam up through the hatch. A beautiful shot from the blown out mirror in the closet will remove Flock. That is Detox Flock, the two top fraggers of this game so far, off of the board. It is a 3v3, and now how's it swung in the favor of the defenders? The Candelas will go out. All of the attackers, no, only two of the attackers, but still significant. Oh, did you just miss the feet there, Ainsley? A will drop down and get that kill. No, he'll get the kill from the hatch, or from the stairs, rather. The plant will begin to go down. The smoke seemingly a little late will miss its target and not do damage on the Habana. The diffuser will go down. A getting a second kill. He's doing work with Blackbeard. Jay, the attackers will swing this round right around, and that will be Armada Esports taking map number 1.
And there you go. Unfortunately, I can pretty much sum it up as Powerhaus just getting outplayed, and Armada not really being forced to adapt any. They can just kind of do their own thing, and that was that.
That is that. Yes, indeed. So, for those of you just joining us, I talked a little bit about it before, about how, we do the ban, pick, ban, and then whatever's left is the decider. Well, Armada attempted to ban Consulate during their little snafu, during their actual pick phase. Powerhaus picked up on that as they were unable to ban a map during that phase and immediately picked Consulate. So Armada seemingly not wanting to go there. We'll have to wait to see if Powerhaus could kind of keep up what we saw from them towards the end of the first map going into map number 2. I think we're going to take a very short break, so stick around. We will be back in just a couple of minutes for our second map of this best of 3. We'll see you in just a minute.
To get off that darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground,
Welcome back, CCS fans. If you are just joining us tonight, Armada up 1-0 over Powerhaus in our first game of the night. And unfortunately, if you're just joining us and you haven't heard the news, which you would have heard if you're following us on Twitter at CCS Esports, game number 2 will not happen. DG versus Impact Gaming. Impact Gaming has forfeited the game to DG. DG will be awarded all 12 rounds to 0 and take the win in that game. Here we go with the ban phase on map number 2. This will be Consulate. Armada will begin the banning, and Talent. After what we saw in map 1, your prediction coming true to a T. Can Powerhaus, knowing the information that we know about the map and etc., and the fact that Powerhaus seem to be on the verge of rallying towards the end of map number 1, do they have a chance here to bring it to a third map?
A slight chance. The reason I say that, the reason I say it with like that is Armada's roam game. If they do that exact same stuff, Powerhouse is screwed. There's no way, man. Unless they bring a Jackal, there's no way they're chasing down all those Armada guys. I mean, Jay and Detox and Flock. Oh my gosh, they're just gonna run around on you, dude. Honestly, and with no thermite, oof, that's gonna suck. Especially if Armada goes into basement first, and you're just gonna have a 2 or 3 man roam upstairs. Yeah, that's gonna be really, really rough. This is where I would say a thermite ban actually makes a lot of sense here if you're Armada. You know, play inside a basement. Guess what? They're forced to go upstairs. Not really forced, but they basically have to go upstairs to be able to get those hatches open. And you can just run amok on them. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck a lot. The only one besides that is that mirror ban. That can be kind of interesting here. That is coming out from Armada. So interesting.
So that's interesting. Indeed. Yeah, that's interesting. And another thing, Powerhouse banning out the Blackbeard, the thorn in their side in the closing rounds of map number 1, as Anthony, aka A, was going bananas. And please, no, of course it's going to be the 6th pick. One time, Tachanka, one time, please, Anthony.
I think they're
I'm not going to hold my breath. Don't disappoint me. I'm just like waiting in fear. Of course they're gonna change. Of course they're gonna change it. Never lucky.
Dang.
By the way, I wanted to go back to something you said earlier, Tom, when you corrected me. You said, "Oh, I thought you said tight angles."
Oh, tight angles. Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. I mean, that's exactly what I said. But I said it on purpose. That's like my name. That's like my name is a play on words. It's supposed to be tight angles. So how long have we known each other, man? I mean, come on.
That's news to me. I'll be honest.
Are you sure you should be observing a match? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's
Am
Friday.
I under the influence?
It's late. But anyway, we thank you folks for joining us as we enter this prep phase of map number 2. If you're new here, slap that follow button on Twitch. If you don't know about CCS, you can find more about us. CCSesports.com has all our information, our standings, all of our statistics, all of our schedule. Monday and Wednesday we have EU games. Wednesdays and Fridays we have North American games, typically 2 games per play day per region. Here we go. Round number 1, map number 2, Consulate begins right now, and not surprisingly, top floor will be the first spot being defended here by Armada.
See, they ban the thermite, but then they don't go downstairs first, where it makes more sense to ban the thermite. Because you're not going to need a thermite anyway if you're attacking top floor. So why would you go to bottom floor as your main site when you could go, or why would you go top floor as your main site when you could go bottom floor as your main site and actually make a difference with your bans? I don't know. Well, that doesn't make any sense to me. But they're winning, so like I said, it doesn't matter because they can just brute force a lot of these rounds. You know, maybe this is something different here on the Consulate that they're going to bring out. They do have the Jackal though, which I agree with. Yep. Hey, bring the Jackal. You know, why not? If you're having an issue with the roam game, you know, trying to make something happen. It's got a great gun, got that smoke and the tracker. So, who knows?
Yeah. A lot of things are going right for Armada right now. People take a little bit of damage, as will Jackal in the exchange. A lot of things are going right for Armada. Not only are they winning their gunfights more often, Detox barely escaping. Koda will get the headshot onto Jay. 3 people, they'll jump out after him, but he will rappel down and escape the onslaught of the aggression out on the balcony. Ainsley will get a kill onto AIM. evening up the score. But going back to what I was saying, it's just that they've been winning their gunfights, but the overwhelming majority, if not every single attack round from Armada in Oregon, they actually put the diffuser down. They didn't just go for the kills. Sure, they got aggressive at times, peaked, and typically won their gunfights, but they also put the diffuser down, which if you look at the statistics of, competitive Rainbow Six Siege, that is like the highest probability to win is post-diffuser plant. Ainsley will claim his second victim of the round and push actually on a jump out, and there continues the aggression there from Armada.
And here comes in the smokes here from Flynn, so he's just going to go right in for the plant. Coda is going to find one as well. He finds two. A is going to be able to get it off, as well as Coda is going to go ahead and push forward. The plant was denied throughout that flurry of bullets. I believe there was a yokai drone in there. Yep, there it was. And that gets denied as well. So we've got the Maestro inside of connector just holding a tight angle, as well as probably a Maestro camera nearby. This plant should be heard and should be denied by the yokai coming in here. But it missed! Wait, it missed twice? What? Oh, that's kind of unlucky here. It's going to come down to aim duels, and he will be able to find it. It's going to be all up to Coda. Coda does have... Where is he? Where's the Maestro? There he is.
Coda, now with 4 kills, he is the last remaining attacker. The diffuser is down. He is defending it, and now the diffuser is starting to get diffused. I'm not sure if he knows it. If he just looks down, he'll see the diffuser out.
Oh, no.
And he's still going, and he'll just miss the shot, and then we'll get diffused. The defenders will win, and just shy of the ace. The poor IQ will react just a split second too late. And oh my goodness, Armada will sneak away with round number 1.
Yeah, he didn't think to check it? Did he just, he must have just not heard it. He was afraid of the echo drone. Yikes, they had that. Oh man, that is super unfortunate. That is really, really unfortunate that that happened. That, man, poor Coda, man. That's the sort of stuff that sticks with you at night, man. Let me tell you, as a player, if you do that, you're just like, oh no, like I should have had that, and it sticks with you. Maybe it won't affect him as bad, because he realized, okay, it's on my team, I got 4 kills, but yeah, no, that is super, super unfortunate. I don't know how that yokai missed. Like, it's a stationary target. He missed twice. Maybe it just, he got Rainbow Sixed, and it just didn't work. Who knows? Regardless, you're right. Armada was able to pull out that round there. That is absolutely crazy. I gotta say, it looks like they are going to be in basement now. Yeah, they are going to be going down into basement. So this is the site that I'd probably prefer with a thermite ban. Regardless, we're going to go ahead and we're going to see it. The Legion, I like it. Cool. They have 2 plant denials, no C4 unless the bandit is bringing it. So that's going to be kind of interesting. If Powerhaus is able to get a plant off and is able to kill those yokais, I think they'll actually be fine. Yeah, bandit does have a C4, so if bandit sticks by the garage, I think he'll be good. And then this roam game as well is probably what you're going to want to keep an eye on.
Oh, Coda. You feel that in your gut.
Yeah.
4K, 1v1. The diffuser was going, but hey, he didn't fake trying to get rid of that diffuser. And because of that, clutched the round out for Armada. What an unbelievable round. Coda so focused using that IQ gadget on the yokai on the ceiling. He was just a fraction of an inch off seeing the diffuser on the ground and the defender destroying that diffuser with his gadget. Very, very unfortunate. But what can you do? Coda's kicking himself. Can he regroup and bring it back here in round number 2? Powerhaus not out of this yet. A fantastic round from Coda and company, but they cannot let that affect them as we push into round number 2.
Yeah, and right now, Powerhaus's timing is pretty spot on so far in terms of clearing out the roamers. They've already gotten admin control. They're starting to push up towards split and your soda machine. They're starting to get the hatches open as well. I think that they've isolated the fact that the roamers are on the 3rd floor, so they've taken their liberty to go ahead and get in, open up some of those hatches, and try and get those roamers to move around. They've got plenty of drones going, so I'm kind of liking this so far from Powerhaus. You know, nothing too crazy. They haven't decided to push in too far. There comes out an impact as well to open up the backside of the projector room. So this is all looking fairly straightforward here. If we can get a jackal track off, that's exactly what they would need here to kind of push this roam clear over the edge. Flock is unfortunately going to start things off for him as he is going to down from that. It's going to be the Dokkaebi as well. That is super unfortunate. Flock is going to push all the way out, almost gets another one as well. So this is really going to go ahead and slow down this push here, is he's going to be backed up here by Detox, and Detox finds one as well. And this is exactly what I was saying by, you know, if they go and they chase down these roamers, it's really going to be tough. Snappy is finally going to be able to deny Detox that flank back up. However, they still have a man advantage for Armada, and guess what? Flock he's out of town now.
Armada had no business killing those two players up top. They had somebody isolated and surrounded, and yet for some reason peeked one at a time. There's no drones that located him. I mean, sure, he's vigilant, and Flock will get another one, just barely surviving with about 2 health. So now he's completely surrounded again, so the utility will finally be deployed on him. Hopefully they won't make the same mistake at peeking once or one at a time. He is going to get flashed. They will not act on it. And where did he drop? No, he was at the corner.
He checked the corner.
But
Oh,
Shazam will stop Flock before he can secure the kill, and a nail-biting exchange again with Flock will end, this time in Powerhouse's favor. It is still a 2v3. There's 10 seconds left. We're gonna have to find a lot of people really fast. Jay will shut down Shazam, and only Snappy left. He won't find him. Jay will finish it off with the double kill, and Armada looking so far so good here on console.
Yikes. No, if you can do it one of two ways. You can either ignore the roamers or you can go with the roamers. In my opinion, you got to go one or the other. Don't just kind of half do one and half do the other, because exactly that's going to happen. You're going to have 3 guys who are playing essentially on their own little team, and then you've got 2 other guys or one other guy that's playing on their own little team, and you got 2 separate actions going on at the same time, wherein honestly you really just need to be working together to clear out those roamers. Detox could easily have been found on the drone, didn't get found on the drone, didn't get spotted out. Yeah, you're right, they did have the vigil, but guess what, it only lasts 12 seconds, man. And you can figure out that, guess what, he's probably in projector, guys. Like, come on now. Just a little bit of extra spamming, maybe another opening up a different hole with an impact could have made that massive difference. Having someone go up on those CEO windows or having someone go on the projector balcony could have been a big, I mean, literally any number of things could have really been done there to improve their experience, I want to say, handling that roam game. But
yeah,
honestly, great job there from Armada being able to hit the shots.
I was disappointed in Powerhouse's attempt, both the first and second attempt. I think the second attempt at Bathroom to clear out that vigil was more luck than anything. But the first attempt, I mean, they had 3 guys completely surrounding that. Sure, they opened up one spot in that soft wall, but I didn't even see any drones come after him. I mean, I know he's vigil, like I said, but you're going to know he's there in projector and need it, right? Yeah. And still, they opened up one hole. There was no stun grenades coming in. There were no drones. There was no utility deployed on him at all. There wasn't even a flank or even more of the soft wall open up, you know, for the vigil to not be able to cover all of those angles. And because of that, because they didn't put any pressure on the backside and they didn't act on the front side, it allowed his teammate Detox to come up and back him up in projector room almost untouched from wherever he was, if he was downstairs or maybe on the end in the office. There's no telling where he was, but he had the time to come back up his teammate, and his teammate got a single, you know, peeker, you know, killing him too. So it was just a very sloppy attack. Jay will start this round off taking the Jackal out almost right away. No utility being deployed from Jackal at all, and Armada keeping up the trend of just pure dominance in these gunfights.
It's hard for me to even, you know, dog Armada for weird strats or anything like that, because like I said, they can just brute force their way through a lot of these rounds. That's a fight that Jay should win, or Jay should lose 9 out of 10 times. You know, when you have the ACOG and you're holding, you know, and obviously, you know, on repel, okay, sure, fair enough. It may not be like the easiest thing to fight as an attacker there, but come on now. But that's the sort of stuff that you got to be winning there. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out for him. not much I can say other than I guess just don't peek it and wait till your team gets in there and force them back with utility. But yeah, that's really you just got to win those.
Yep. So 1 minute and 20 seconds off the clock before the first attackers enter the building. Admin office purely in control of the attackers, but no pressure being put on the office side. So one of the defenders is actually comfortably sitting up there by the desk in the office. The rest of them still upstairs. I think 2 or 3 hanging out in the projector room, 1 in waiting, and not a lot for them to do as they're just able to sit and chill for now.
Yeah, nothing crazy going on. They did get the wall open. However, unfortunately, they didn't open 2 in a row, so they still have plenty of real estate to kind of sit there and be safe. They still have good old Jay. He's just sitting there being super aggressive there, just honestly just looking for picks, and it's worked so far. I mean, he's already got 1 pick. That's gonna be Coda and Flynn, both finding picks of their own. That's gonna be good. Jay finds another one, not able to kill Flynn though. That's gonna give a man advantage to Powerhaus, and then suddenly they look like they have a much better chance compared to what we've had in the past.
Flynn going to that balcony is the key to the reason why that they are up a man right now. That is something that they haven't been doing, putting pressure on multiple angles, making it too difficult for the defense to cover every angle that he is exposed to. Flynn did a beautiful job of rotating over there. Now it ended up being too much for the defense to cover. Now look at this, Flynn covering the doorway and the plant now going down. He'll look for the yokai drone. I don't see it. He'll jump it. Why, Flynn? Why? Anthony will get the kill. He'll stop the plant. Now will be it. Armada takes the round. I'm not sure why Flynn jumped in. Maybe the yokai drone. Yeah, it was indeed the yokai drone. But, oh no, that just fell apart for Powerhaus. Such a strong start.
Jumping in is not the answer. Flynn, you had it. Flynn, you gotta smoke your capital. Use your smokes, man. Smoke off the connector door. Smoke off the rotate by Flag's desk. Oh no. They actually had that too. Yeah, you're right. Just smoke it off. And then you don't have to panic and, freak out looking for that yokai drone. Just nice and calmly find the yokai drone. It's sitting there right in front of you. Yeah, you don't have an IQ scanner in front of your face, but it's okay. If it's smoked off, you're not worried about getting peeked. Oh man, that is super unfortunate. Man, that's gotta be heart-wrenching if you are Powerhaus. Like, what do you do after that? Like, after losing that one, oh wow.
I mean, they lost the first one after that, soul-crushing, missing the diffuser, getting destroyed. Yeah. Powerhaus just on the precipice of winning twice. It should be 2-1 right now, but Armada just happens to have the extra bit of gravy at the end to make the round finish in their favor somehow, some way. And now 3-0, it starts to get really, really difficult to make a comeback, especially after being a map down. We're gonna have to wait and see what can they do, as Armada will opt to go back downstairs. But at this point in time, Powerhaus, they don't need to change much. They just have to clean up the sloppy end of round mistakes. Even though they seem small in the long run because there's so little time left, it's the difference between winning and losing, and that's why they're sitting at 3-0 instead of 2-1 right now.
I think they're right, but I'm going to make a prediction here. I think that the half is going to go 4-1 in favor of Armada. I think Powerhaus is going to win this round. I think that they're going to be able to just clear out the roamers okay. I think it's going to come down to it. I think they're going to be able to win this, but then as soon as Armada goes back upstairs, I think Armada's going to be able to pull that one out. I think Powerhaus is going to be able to kind of figure out how to clear out these roamers now that there's no Vigil on the board. Obviously there's Ella and there's still there's a Valkyrie in play. But hey, I still think that they can do it. Flock, he's got the traps, but I got something in mind for Powerhaus.
Yeah, Powerhaus has been playing excellent. It's just these tiny mistakes at the very end have been costing them rounds, and that is true of Rainbow Six. You can play beautifully all the way through it in the last closing seconds of a round, throw it all away with a couple of small mistakes. Can Powerhaus bite down and make the mental adjustments? The IGL, can they calm the nerves and say, this is what we got to do? Not a great start as Jay gets the opening kill once again onto Flynn, and that is the Capital down. Absolutely no utility being deployed. Snappy will reciprocate taking Flock out 4v4 now. The Grismont mines probably already deployed, but that is one of the roamers that gave them such a hard time the last time.
There you go. Here comes a rotate out from Detox. He's just going to go ahead and use this opportunity to get all the way back into sight. And there you go. That's pretty much the extent of the roam game you're going to see. I'd say an Ella for a Capitale, that's probably worth it, honestly. If it wasn't for the fact that Flock is kind of like their main fragger there on that roam, they still have J and Detox as well as the backup crew of Ainsley and A. So guess what? Honestly, I think that was fine because you're getting rid of those smokes. There's now no more smokes here for Powerhaus. They don't have any way to open up that wall. They can only open up the hatches, which I believe one's already open regardless. Both of them are now open, so they've got the hatches open. Okay, fine. But what are you going to do now? You now have the hatch. What's the plan? I'm looking for Powerhaus to really either go and open the wall or start gaining more control. You cannot win the round by just dropping through these hatches. You need to get Yellow Steer's control. You need to get Spiral. Detox finds one with the C4, follows it up himself with a MPX kill. This is not what you want to see if you're Powerhaus. And like I said, they're stalling. They got all the control. They cleared out the roamers like I pretty much said they were going to do. But then they just didn't know what to do past that. Coda's going to say, okay, hey, Detox, no more of your crap. I'm going to kill you here. But guess what? There's only 10 seconds left. Like, what are you going to be doing? It's going to be a last-ditch effort to kind of come on. And Ainsley with the AL or ADLA is going to finish him off. Coda's going to find another one, but it's not going to be much as Ainsley finds a 2K there towards the end. And they're not doing enough.
Yeah, Armada seemingly unstoppable at this point on Powerhouse's map pick of Consulate. We told the story. Armada tried to ban it. It was not a ban phase. Powerhouse snatched it right up out from underneath Armada thinking, oh, Armada doesn't want to go here. We do. And now the tables have turned up 4-0, 2 rounds away from a complete shutout on Consulate. Powerhouse starting out great, not being able to finish. Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're getting down to Armada, or I'm not Armada's, but Powerhouse's last chance to try and turn something or nothing into something.
So that Chonka pick is going to go ahead and stay. A little bit of here BM from Armada. I like to see it though. I gotta say, he's going to stick with the Chonka. I gotta say, do we start talking about where he puts the turret? Is it even worth it?
Hey, I tell you what, I want your pro league analysis.
Where would I put it? I would say, listen, Powerhouse is going admin every single time. Let's put it up in break room, open up a hole as if it was a mirror, and then just play it right there. Give him a shield in front of the break room wall towards those east windows, and I don't think they'd be able to figure it out.
I want you, if the mythical Talon binder is within arm's reach, I need you to grab that. I need you to flip to Consulate, top floor, and I need you to tell me, where does that evil eye go, Talon? Where does that evil eye go?
Hold on. I got it for you. Got it right here.
He's licking his fingers and going page by page right now. There we go. That binder is thick. You know what I'm saying?
It says to put it up in CEO. Honestly, Powerhouse went for a CEO plan as well. So they've done one admin attack and they've done one CEO attack. So, put one in each, right? Put one in admin. Oh, so here comes the turret. It is going to be up.
Hallelujah! The Lord has come. Armada feeling very confident, bringing the Tachanka out. I'm not sure where the attack is coming from. I'm not sure the attackers know where the attack is coming from quite yet. But it looks like they are going to attempt to try attacking the Consulate office first.
So at least Armada has a plan here with the Chonka. They're like, okay, let's put up both castles here to try and protect that turret. Let's face it towards admin to start. And initially, that's where Armada went. They went over towards admin. They realized it's probably not for them. Mitchell is there as well. Oh, jump out! He finally gets punished. He finally punishes it in an aggressive play. We did it, boys. Oh man, that's kind of BM. Sorry, but yeah, no, you got to be able to punish those every single time. If you're playing a team like Armada, guess what? What's the first thing you got to do is you got to ADS on a window and make sure you don't see them coming through. A nice little drone there is going to spart out two defenders inside of the closet, and they're doing the right decision. They're going up to the skylight. They need to open up the backside of the projector or the backside of that wall. It is actually soft. It's soft. They can spam them from the skylight. As a matter of fact, Flynn's going to find another one, and Powerhouse has a 2-man advantage.
And they're speaking of spamming them from Skylight. There's somebody up there right now, but there's no bullets coming through the wall. And because of that, Jay will get a kill. He sees more at the window. He just saw somebody go up. Now he sees the bullets coming out of Capital's gun. So he will just remain there unimpeded. There are some shots going off elsewhere. Jay will push up to the window. Aim will shut him down with just a sliver of health left. A 3v2 now. The Lord T'Chaka still up and going. Ainsley will even the numbers out. It's a 2v2. The turret will get set up once again, just as an attacker will climb up to the balcony. One smoke grenade will go out. Still a minute left to work with. Plenty of time to try and gather some last-ditch information. The yokai deployed, the turret deployed. The defense need only wait as the attackers will attempt their strategy. Smoke number 2 goes out. I believe Flynn is on the precipice of jumping into this window. They see him. He will get yokai. He will stay on the outside of the window. Meanwhile, the Lord will pull off of the turret. He'll see one at the window and get the kill. Beautiful shot. 1v2, and Powerhaus kind of flip-flopped. Now at a disadvantage. He will take out Anthony. It is a 1v1, 18 seconds left. He's going to have to make a move. Ainsley will peek out and get the head of Coda, making it 5 straight and match point for Armada.
You know, I said it was going to be 4-1, but unfortunately, Armada made it happen. They got it to 5-0. This, if your Powerhouse feels bad, man, no, they're just getting outplayed. There's really not much that I can do or that they can do other than you just got to make certain plays. Like I said, spam them from Skylight. There's nothing they can do against that. I mean, other than shooting back at you, but what are they going to do? They have no soccer whatsoever. You had a drone go in there and tell you that there was 2 members there. And if the drone was keeping an eye out, I don't believe the hatch was open either. So they had no way to escape. So you can basically just shoot them through the wall, and there's nothing that they can do. First round here, this is a scary lineup. This is a very scary lineup. If you're Armada, they dropped a hard breach for an Ash. They're going all in. This should be a quick round. This is going to be a quick round. I love this.
Yeah, they got the double shield. They got the Finka. They got the Ash, the Lion. We're going to have to wait and see what they do have in store, but whatever it is, we can guarantee that their plan is bullets over strategy, that's for sure. So the drone phase will commence. This is Armada's first attack and possibly last attack of this map number 2 consulate, as they are up after winning on Oregon versus Powerhaus 6-2. Powerhaus not having a great day right now. Need to try and dig deep and pull something out of this catastrophic situation that they're in right now.
You see, the one thing I don't understand is if you're Powerhouse and this is the lineup you see, you know, why aren't you running a Legion? A Legion 1000% counters, you know, what you're running. Not only are they running shields, but they're also running the Finka. The Legion will deny any Finka boost that you have, as well as, you know, it's just a straight counter to shields, but they decided to bring a Capcan over shield, over, you know, the Legion? Really? That's a little bit of a questionable decision in my mind there. I feel like they could have used that 6 pick a little bit better.
Yeah, the real question is will Powerhouse give up at this point in time? They're prepared for battle, I hope, but it's been a pretty demoralizing map for them so far. They need to make something happen, and Armada is presenting them the opportunity to have something happen to them right now. Blitz will turn his back to somebody in the connector. He will not get punished until the yokai go down. He will take it out. Coda will get kill number 1 on Ainsley. Jay will reciprocate onto Flynn. 4v4, only about 45 seconds, 55 seconds gone in this round, as Blitz has free reign up top. Coda will get a second. Snappy will get one. Shazam will C4 one of his own teammates, but also managed to take down one of the attackers. It is only Monty versus 3 of the Powerhouse members, and so far so good, looking good for Powerhouse. As Armada, their little blow and go tactic not paying off so far. Snappy will close it out and give Powerhouse a much needed sign of life. The pulse is light, but there is a pulse confirmed, as we will go into round number 7.
See what you did there, because the pulse is banned. Interesting. Regardless, you're right. They are able to pull off a round. The question is, does Armada run that lineup again, or are they just going to go ahead for a more serious lineup, bring the hard breach, you know, just play a little bit more standard and go with it from there? I think their thermite ban was fantastic for them. I don't think that Powerhouse knew exactly what to do without that thermite, regardless of the site. and they were able to pull out 5 straight defensive wins from it. I think now that we're going to be seeing a Powerhouse Garage, the question is, was Armada prepared for their own ban?
Were they prepared for their own need? So here we go. A very similar lineup, a little bit of change. There's no shields this time. There's a lot of gun battling operators on the attacking squad. They did bring a little bit of hard breach. They brought a Twitch as well to kind of deal with the garage wall, should they need to. Last time I think all they did was, oh no, that was actually Powerhouse. All they did was bring the Habana and mess around with the hatches. Of course, Thermite being banned, not opting to mess with the garage wall at all, which I tend to think when you got one of those operators banned, the downstairs for me is a little bit more favorable than the upstairs. Not being shown by either of these teams, but you know, what can you do? Powerhouse recouping after losing 5 straight. Armada kind of deciding just to bum rush the site. The last round might slow it down a little bit and try to close this series out with the stats up high.
Well, there you go. And honestly, if you're Armada right now, you take that that lion and you run in through the backside of Archives. I mean, they might decide to clear out these roamers. I doubt it. You see, I don't know. We'll see if they end up getting even droned. Right now, we're just seeing a heavy front pressure here. They're probably going to just get right in, get those hatches, and maybe even just drop straight down. Maybe not even go for Archives. Just drop right through kitchen and through bathroom. We'll see.
Yeah, there's no telling, but the round is still young. They will take full control of this lobby. The camera will catch 3 of them coming in. So the defense kind of getting a little bit of information about what's going on up above them. Coda waiting patiently on the yellow stairs. We'll wait and see if anybody decides to push as the hatches get opened up. The bathroom hatch now getting opened up as the attackers kind of grouped around in there. Flock will get kill number 1 on the flip. I'm not sure where that happened. Shazam, though, will trade it back out on Anthony from up above, actually. Jay will get Shazam being detected on the EE1D. One more upstairs being looked at from the Maestro. Oh, Twitch and Coda on Bandit just barely missing each other. I'm not sure if Coda heard the footsteps. The barbed wire has been tickled by the Bandit, so Twitch might know that there is a opponent nearby.
What a timing there as Coda goes out from behind the shield to behind the pillar there. Tons and tons of barbed wire on those yellow stairs. Flock is definitely not one to go and push that. He's crazy, but he's not that crazy, at least not yet. Minute and 20. Armada does have the man advantage, but it's nothing too serious. You know, losing a Jaeger, losing a Vigil is not the worst thing in the world. They still have the important operators here on Echo and Maestro. Those are going to be your 2 to really kind of watch out for. Ooh, that's not going to be good as Detox is going to go ahead and finish off Coda. Ainsley finds aim as well. That's not going to be good, but Snappy finds 2, puts him to 1v1. It's going to be all up to the Ash versus the Echo. And honestly, right now, the defender, Snappy, he's got the diffuser as well. This is going to be Detox. There's probably plenty of cams. A little bit of spam there, a little cheeky. Plenty of cams there to really kind of call out exactly what Detox is doing. Detox, maybe he'll just leave the cam up. You know, you never know. Just giving him the free cam information. 40 seconds remain here for Snappy. All he has to do is just kind of wait and see what Detox does. He has the Echo drone set up inside of kitchen.
Oh!
A little bit of cheeky foot play there from Snappy is going to go ahead and close it out, and Powerhouse stays alive.
Snappy with the 1v3 clutch to keep Powerhouse at least a little bit alive. They still have a lot of work to do, but Snappy putting the team on his back, bringing it from a 5-1 to a 5-2. Powerhouse, if they were together, would be high-fiving after that play. And can Powerhouse turn something out of that little bit of momentum? Snappy, we've seen him make a clutch play in map number 1. We've seen him make a clutch play in map number 2. Coda just missing out on a clutch play at the beginning of this map. Can Powerhouse turn this into something a little bit more serious? Operator lineup now coming from Armada as the comfortable 5-0 has now transformed into a less comfortable, but not all too uncomfortable 5-2.
Interesting choice here to keep the Jackal, actually. I mean, they brought I'm not sure whether you'd bring the Thatcher to begin with. But really, the Jackal, when you know that they're not going to be inside a basement, I don't really agree with that. Honestly, I think their operator lineups I'm not sure if they're completely, thinking about it a whole lot or if it's super serious for them right now. But definitely could be a little bit better in terms of their operator lineups. But regardless, they've still got a huge lead. They've got a 5-2 lead. I believe the last game went 6-2 in favor of Armada. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but this
6-2.
very well,
Yep.
very well could be the exact same thing. We're seeing a very similar setup here from Powerhaus, 2 reinforcements on that connector wall, so they're definitely putting that in. Although I think the castle is actually different. There was no castle last time. I think they had Flynn on Vigil last time they were upstairs, and he was inside of admin. So Armada was just kind of forced to shield their way up yellow stairs, but we're not seeing any of that shield stuff. Still seeing the lion, but there are no shields in play here. So yeah, they're right. They're definitely taking it a little bit more seriously at the very least.
Very quick drones and windows getting opened up as Powerhaus sets up top. They will see that there are some castle windows. Not a lot of resistance going on in the admin office, as a lot of doors are actually getting castle. Coda will hop downstairs, try to be on a little bit of a fluid roam, and 4 of the attacking squad all hanging out on this east side of the building, all on rappel. None of them on a drone, it doesn't seem like. Finally, one throws one in. These dogs will storm on into the admin. Lion, EE1D will go out, and then we'll begin starting to open up these soft walls. Some shots will go through the soft walls. Flynn and Flock will each get a kill. Flock dropping Flynn after Flynn takes out Jay. But now all of this east side of the top floor firmly in control of the attackers. The yokai is poking at some of this attack, but not really doing much damage. Evil Eye being planted there in the hallway. An interesting spot, wouldn't you say, Talon?
Yeah, yes, indeed. And I just want to talk about that trade actually a little bit. A Flynn on Castle Glories, and yeah, that is actually a massive trade, especially with Evil Eyes in play here. I gotta say, Armada, other than the nades, really has no great way to get rid of those Evil Eyes. Well, unfortunately, Flock is going to see this coming, as Coda is going to take his life away from him. That is mighty unfortunate, because Coda has really been the big impact player here. Detox is going to... Oh, no. He gets ADS. I was about to say he was going to open up the hole for... Ooh, that Evil Eye actually gets spotted out.
Yeah, now we know why the Evil Eye was there. It was actually shooting at the Habana pellets. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to get enough of them. So that wall will get open, and yeah, very unfortunate peak as their top fragger of Coda will go down. However, Snappy, after that great last round, is still up. The castle door, I'm not sure if he hit it or got blown open in front of him. Either way, Jackal started to shoot into midair, being a little bit surprised by its opening. Gopsicle firmly planted in CEO. Jackal with a couple of pop shots up through the floor. A little bit of a standoff here. 30 seconds remain. 3v4, so plenty of players up on both teams. Python will get some bullets and actually down the Hamada. He'll actually get a lot of damage down onto the butt. Detox will finish off Aidlin, saying no stat or no stat padding for you. Flock will kill Shazam. Aim will get Flock, and it's a 2v2 now. 14 seconds left. Powerhaus firmly planted, but the diffuser will begin to go down. I'm not sure if Powerhaus know that. They will peek the corner, and that will be it. Defenders off the hands of Snappy at the last second yet again. Powerhaus now brings it to 3 after once being at, oh man, no challenge whatsoever for him, as he was stuck on the plant. As they were once down 5-0, now 5-3. Powerhaus having a much needed comeback moment. Can they continue the trend though? That's the question.
I gotta say, we're seeing a potentially a reverse sweep. Snappy really kind of stepping in for his team late in these defensive rounds here, has made a massive difference. I gotta say, Armada, big misplay there by Flock. All he had to do was just smoke off those angles held by the attackers, and they have an easy plant. That's really what it comes down to. He had 2 smokes on Jackal on the top of Spiral Stairs. He had used those smokes. I honestly and firmly believe that they would have won that round.
So I want to talk about Armada for a second, and I was going to mention something about this earlier, but at 5-0, I made the same mistake Armada did in thinking, okay, let's go these shields, let's go these fast operators, to think of the Lion, the shields, the Ash. And, when you're playing, you got to play every single round like it's the last round of the championship match, because you throw one round and that can be such an important round. Even when it's 5-0, you're sitting in a comfortable lead. Now It's 5-3. It's not by any stretch of the imagination into a overtime situation. It's not by any stretch of the imagination over for either one of these teams. But when you're sitting at 5-0 and you want to play one round that you might not have otherwise done, these are how these situations are born.
Let me tell you a story. It's way back in Season 3 of Pro League, back when there was still a league system. Similar to what it was now, however, instead of best of ones, it was best of twos. The way that ties were handled was if you had two teams that had the exact same win-loss tie, basically the same amount of points in the league, the way that the tie difference was handled was in the round count difference. So the team that won by a greater margin throughout the entire season ended up getting ahead of, or that was the way that the tiebreak was broken. And what that actually meant was that my team back then was Ferocity. I actually ended up getting tied with, I forgot, some other team, and we got 4th place in the league and got invited back to Season 4 because we had a better round difference to whatever team came in 5th and tied with us. So these sort of situations, like, yeah, sure, you're up 5-0. Sure, yeah, you might want to, meme around, but every single round can count.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, that trend continues into CCS. If there are two teams with a tied record, right, the tiebreaker of who is whatever place is indeed the round count. So for a team like Armada, who is in 4th place is the cutoff. The 5th place does not make it into the finals, does not get to play for the money in the championship, the finals, whatever you want to call it, at the end of the season. And for somebody who's so teetering on the edge of being eliminated, should one thing go wrong in the 5-6 weeks we have left, it's you got to take those types of things into consideration too.
I mean, this is music to my ears, seeing them have to, waste out more rounds. Flynn's with 2 before finally getting picked off. That is absolutely massive. And that's Ainsley out of all players. That's your hard breach as well. Powerhaus looks like they're in a really, really good position to maybe take a 4th.
Yeah,
Look
a
at
vigil
that.
for 2, including the hard breacher, is a trade anybody will take any time. Only 50 seconds left now. Not a lot of time at all for these 3 remaining attackers to try and make something happen. None of them have the utility to deal with this barbed wire on the stairs. None of them had the utility to open the garage. None of them have the utility to open any hatches. They're going to have to push through this barbed wire, and they're going to have no choice but to smack at it, while the entirety of the defense will know exactly where they're coming from. A sneaky little spot by Shazam will end the life of Detox, get traded right back by Ainsley, and a little bit of an interesting pre-fire there, but AIM will finish the last 2 off, and that will be Powerhaus 4-5. It was 5-0 just a few moments ago, and now Powerhaus on the verge of bringing this into OT. This ain't over by a long shot, the way it sits right now.
Armada, guys, yeah, you're up 5-0, and now suddenly I think the realization is probably going to start hitting them, be like, holy crap, are we about to lose this? Is this really about to happen? Like, they were probably celebrating and joking just a few moments ago, and then suddenly, yeah, no, they're on the verge of having a reverse sweep comeback. Yikes, that is definitely not the situation you want to be in if you are Armada.
Not the situation we want to be in at all. And what seeded the comeback? What started it all? The quote-unquote Mimi pick round with 2 shields and the rusher. It wasn't a blatant, like, it wasn't a recruit shotgun rush, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a throw, but it was something that I'm sure that never in a million years would they do if it was overtime and the game was on the line. It's just not. And that one round, look at where we are right now. We'll talk about it until we're blue in the face. You got to just treat every round like it's the most important round of the match.
Well, at least they're providing an interesting viewing experience for us here today. It's going to be Powerhaus back upstairs. They're bringing the castle once again. Remember, Mira is banned, so you're not going to be seeing any sort of break room holds, but Flynn has decided to bring that castle. Not quite sure if he 6-picked it. However, looking at this Armada lineup, they still don't have any way to really deal with it unless you're using the glass. I mean, sure, I guess, yeah, you could Hibana it as well. However, that's going to waste a lot of time, and make a lot of noise, especially trying to open up all these castles. You know, if you put up both of those castles on a place like CEO windows or projector windows, like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're just gonna have to sit there as glass, you know, shooting them all open. It takes about 1.5 mags per. So that's going to waste a lot of time just from Glass alone, having to open those up.
Yes, so yeah, interesting lineup, I'd say, from the attackers. I can kind of see what they're going for. You know, they got the extra smoke, etc. But yeah, not necessarily the more meta of attacking lineups. I'm not sure if they have something specific in mind. They are all on the west side right now. We'll see if whatever it is they're thinking about is going to play out. Flynn kind of hanging out down in the basement. I'm not sure if a drone saw him, but he does hear a lot of footsteps, a lot of window breaking, a lot of action going on this west side. So he will creep up and he will watch the door. And Flock will get the opening kill onto aim. Already on the top of yellow stairs, will lose a lot of health in the process. He'll decide to hop out of the window and go for a reset. In the meantime, Flynn on the sneaky angle down at the bottom of the yellow stairs will get the opening kill for Powerhaus. That will be blocked off the board, but no reset for you, Jackal. And it is now 4v4, still a little more than half the round to go.
Right now, if you're Armada, it's not the end of the world. And the reason why I say that is that they still have that smoke buffer. They started with 6 smokes, and now they're still down to 4. 4 is still a ton of smoke to be able to work with if you're going to be going for this glass jump out. However, if you're Armada and you just lost someone, you know, to those yellow stairs, you have to be expecting some sort of jump out once you start going for this take. Speaking of a take, we're going to see it right here. Jay's going to go ahead and throw 2 out, and here comes in the first of the 2 Lions. Nothing is going to happen off of this. I think it was just a bait. Unfortunately, those Maestros for the attacking team is going to kind of give away their fake. No sort of utility is going to come out. We should be seeing, oh, there's no C4 on Shazam. He's already used it. So that means the diffuser will be going off. And Powerhaus, they're suddenly in a very, very dire situation. They had Maestro and an Echo Drone as well to be able to stop it. They weren't able to do it. Snappy, however, is coming alive. Flynn finds another one as well before being traded out by Ainsley. And now all of a sudden, it's a 1-on-3.
Oh,
How does this happen?
Snappy will get him as he's stuck in the rappelled down animation. The defenders will defuse it. And ladies and gentlemen, Powerhaus down 5-0. We're going to overtime in map number 2.
How does this happen? Like, dang, dude, that post plant was not in it there for Armada.
Now,
They got the plant down. I don't even know how, I don't know how they got that plant down, because they should have had both Yokais as well as those Maestros basically calling out everything. They had full control of everything downstairs. They could have gone to piano. They could have denied it from down there. I honestly am at a loss for words for how they were able to get the plant off. But regardless, the plant got off, but Armada's post plant was just not there, was just not looking pretty at all. Therefore, Powerhaus keeps it alive, and here we are in OT.
yeah, and think about it. There's a couple of things. I'll keep talking about it. Everybody's tired of hearing it. It all starts with one round. We all know the round, so I'll skip over that part. But here we are going into OT, and Powerhaus doing exactly what I thought that they were capable of doing. I mean, look at the first 3 rounds. Powerhaus lost 2 out of those 3 rounds because of some tiny little mistake where they should have had that round. They should have had that round. They did everything right up until the very end. Tiny mistake, they lose. I mean, if they would have done this, if they would have won those first 2 rounds and then done this, it would have been over 6-3. We would have been on map 3 by now. But I can't knock them too much, because here we are into overtime, unlimited overtime. Somebody's got to win by 2, and if Powerhaus keeps this trend up, they've won 5 in a row. Armada started off winning 5 in a row. Powerhaus has now won 5 in a row. The favor is greatly now in the hands of Powerhaus. Can they keep this trend up? Take this map and push it to map number 3. I think they can. But only time will tell if they can achieve it.
That's well said indeed. And once again, Powerhaus, the exact same lineup. Big difference here for Armada. They now have 3 ways to now get rid of some of these castles. They have a Sledge and a Zofia, as well as the Hibana as a backup. I'm liking it a lot better for them to be going towards an admin take. There's really no reason for them to be going for a CEO take with this lineup, They really only have 2 smokes, and that's going to be on Detox. So I'm kind of worried if they decide to continue with the CEO take, like what exactly their plan is going to be. Is it going to be just to run up yellow stairs again, or is it going to be, maybe faking it and then rotating towards admin? I don't know. But regardless, Powerhaus obviously knows how to handle some just sort of jump in. So I'm kind of worried, like I said, if they continue with this.
Yeah, and they've been switching things up, which is good because what they had before wasn't working, etc. They're bringing the Lion. I think the Lion's like main function is to stop the defenders, so that way they can swing inside of the window. They don't have as much cover of smoke as they had previously, right? So here comes EE1D1, but nobody's in position to gather any information off of it. So that was a very interesting popping of the Lion charge, because there was just all of the defenders could have been moving nonstop for the entirety of that, and the attackers wouldn't have been in a position to do anything about it. The Jaeger will get spotted out on the bottom floor. He'll rotate back up the Visa stairs and try and help his teammates up top. Meister will get a little bit of damage put down on him from a grenade from the CEO window. 3 of the attackers on the CEO window. It's looking a lot like last time with just a bunch of different people. Ainsley will get kill number 1. A little bit of free fire bullets will come through that wall. Jay will get a kill of his own onto Snappy. They're in. The plant is going down. So Armada looking a little bit better this time around. They'll get the diffuser down just afterwards. Shazam will kill the planter, but the diffuser is indeed down. One of, I believe, the defenders is down. Yes, so it is a 2v4 effectively. No, he will get picked back up, bring it to a 3v4, but a third of the diffuser time is now gone.
Gotta say, this is Armada's round through and through. That C4 just a little bit missed time there, but 2 of the attackers are going to be coming up those yellow stairs. Jay is going to find it, not even going to need a second guy to help him out. He's going to trade tons and tons of bullet with Shazam. Nothing really going to be able to happen, but Coda up from behind is able to find one. Does he find the second? He will. It's a Zofia, but no, going to deny the self-revive. There are now 2 attackers left on these windows. Uh-oh, comes down all the way down to a 1v1. That is really, really scary. If you are Armada, nice try from Powerhaus, but I'm glad to see Armada finally being able to pull it out there. And they have now broken the streak of Powerhaus and are now going to be on defense.
Yeah, so just for those who are new here or do not know, we do switch every single round here in OT. OT is unlimited. Somebody must win by 2. Armada finally stops the onslaught by Powerhaus, but is it too little too late? They just need to win 1 more. Otherwise, we will tie up again and guarantee at least 2 more rounds deeper into this overtime. Powerhaus will switch back to the attack for the first time in 6 rounds. Not able to be successful once on attack. Armada only finding 1 success on attack. Is that 1 successful attack by Armada going to be the difference between the win and the loss? Only this round will tell, as Powerhaus decides to bring the Glaz, IQ, Lion, Thatcher, and Hibana. Armada bringing the Vigil, the Legion, a lot of fast characters, a lot of roaming potential on their side.
Yep, that's crazy. Over 11 rounds, only 1 attacker victory. That is very interesting, but that very well might be the thing that throws it over the edge. So we're going to be seeing Armada starting inside of basement. I completely agree with this, just because, like I said, the thermite ban makes it just so tough. I think after attacking, they finally realized that power of that thermite ban and going downstairs first. Neither team did it, but here we are in OT. Finally, Armada is going to go ahead and start with it. Flock is once again on that Vigil, which gave Powerhaus such a problem, as well as the Echo Drone and Maestro to help kind of clean up that late round. This is a fairly well-rounded lineup. I'd say no hard breach denial, but honestly, it really does not matter since there's no thermite. So I'm quite interested to see. I think this round really kind of comes down to how fast Powerhaus clears out this roamer. I think if they can clear it out in, I want to say 1 minute and 30. If they can clear it out and they can get control, start opening the hatches and start opening up the floor at 1 minute and 30, I think they have a great chance here at being able to pull off an attacker victory. If they let it go down to 1 minute, even 1 minute 15, I think that's going to be it for them.
Yep, it's just something we're gonna have to wait and see. Nobody finding much success on attack. Finally, for the first time, somebody will attack the garage. And I think it's a good strategy to attack this garage, even though you're going to have to utilize all of your Armada. There's plenty of soft ceiling right above the garage area to open up and push defenders out of areas, including on the side of that white van where I believe Echo is hanging out right now. Flock will shut down Coda, the top fragger for Powerhaus. That will be the IQ off the board early. Armada just 4 kills away from closing the series out. Powerhaus is now going to have to try and figure out what their next step is. They have lost the grenades. They've lost the ability to see any of the electronics hanging in and around site, including the Legion mines, Black Eyes, and the Yokai drone. Not a very, very good player to lose if you're the attacking squad. E1D will go out. They're still poking around with this open garage. Glaz will shoot a couple of shots underneath. Oh, what a shot onto the Yokai drone. They'll shoot a couple of shots at the feet, but not be as successful getting the toesies of that defender in there.
There you go. And this is a 100% strat change. They're just going right for this wall. Very, very slow, though. I mean, if you're going to go right for this wall, this needed to have been like, I don't know, this needed to come 45 seconds ago. Here comes in a plant inside of the smoke covered. Not going to do much, but Jay is in a perfect position to be able to completely thwart this attack. He's going to go and jump out, but he is going to get downed on his way over. So unfortunately, his trip was a trip of death. Flock is also in position to go in for a run out. He is covered by that lion there, so I doubt that he's really going to be able to get too much done unless he just hits an absolutely nutty shot. Flynn is going to find one, but Flox and Detox finds 2. Oh, that's not good. He almost team killed, but the plant is still going down. That is what you do, Habana. It does get down. His position is known. Snappy finds one. Snappy wins these, by the way. Oh, no, he doesn't. Flock is going to be able to clean it up, and that is going to be it for tonight. Armada is going to take it 7-5 in the second match.
What an amazing last round. Well played to Powerhaus. Powerhaus, I cannot commend them enough for not laying over and dying, but instead, pulling up the laces, tightening the bootstraps, and going after Armada after being at a 5-0 deficit. And you saw the result of that. We pushed it into OT. Unfortunately, Armada gained foothold in overtime finally, and we're able to seal the deal. What a great game, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're wondering why I'm saying that, game 2 has been canceled.